Power's starting to get a little tight. How fast is this? I severely underestimated how powerful these things are. Hey, artillery shell range has increased. Bang! Stamina potion train. And our trains are full. Oh, look how thick that stack is. How much stone do we need? Okay, at least we got some black science now. We've got some more productivity modules. I got us some more electromagnetic plants, and I brought over fusion power for later because we're going to have a problem with the power pretty soon. Right now we're at 1.2, but if I go back 10 hours, 1.9 gigawatts was being produced by our steam turbines, which is the capacity of our power plant production. So I need to keep an eye on that because that is going to dip today. I also brought fluoroketone from Aquilo, and I brought some of the legendary tungsten just in case we needed to craft anything with it. And there's a whole bunch of fusion power cells as well. Let's head on up and get back to work on the research production. Some other things I did is I restored the bulk inserters, so that's very nice. I've got some legendary chests too, so we could even plonk them down at the train station because we have a lot of legendary ores available to us now. We can start actually making legendary stuff, which is really, really cool. So if I just start by placing 2 of these everywhere, that should get the bus flowing, which should then allow us to see our throughput issues. Ooh, okay, there we go. The productivity modules are going in, and we've run out of them. Okay, that was quick. Wow, that was fast. Stone's a little bit annoying at the moment because we don't actually have a great deal of it available to us. We've pretty much completely covered this patch, which is a little worrying. I'm trying to research mining productivity at the moment to try and help get some more yield out of the patches. We have another patch over here, but it's even smaller, 58. We have another patch down south, down here, 44. Again, even smaller. And that's being used up for the rail production. Our walls and our magazines aren't making it down to the end, so we're going to have to increase production of those. And then we can move on to the next science pack, which will be the blues, mana potions. And that's something I am dreading a little bit because engine units are a pain to make, and so are the red circuits. But we are prepared. That's what today's about. That should give us some more walls. Magazines are another problem. I think that's because of iron. Yeah, it looks like it's iron, so we need to bring this down here. That belt is starting to look a little more full. We should be able to do a few more beacons, and that should now be filling up. No, we need more magazines. Okay, more magazines are in order. Oh, actually, hang on. No, we're out of iron. Oh no. It's time to expand our iron operation. So if we grab this whole thing, this whole blueprint. There we go, nice and easy. Look at our modular designs. This is a problem though, but I think we can solve that with some undergrounds. What we can do is some simple merges like that. There we go. We need to do the same thing over here. Bring these across. Then we need to figure out what to do with the outside lanes. Yeah, the trouble is this beacon is a little too tightly compacted. Maybe we need to get rid of that. Then we can bring forth these tunnels, and then we can do a merger here. There we go, that's saturated. And that gets the magazines all the way down to the end. Okay, perfect. Red magazines are almost making it to the end of this. That's pretty good. That's pretty exciting. Okay, that's at 3.2k, so just a little bit more. Looks like red magazines are the problem still. All right, so we need more. We can do more. Don't you just love the copy and paste feature in this game? The next thing we need to do is our blue science. So we need 2 major ingredients for this. We need chemical plants. No, actually, I have the cryogenic plants now. We can use those. So we need sulfur and we need plastic. The sulfur, as you can see, is just for the blue science, and the plastic is going to be used for the red circuits, which means we need to make more green circuits first. First thing I have to do is try and figure out where the heck I'm going to place blue science production. It might go up here. The reason being is we have ready access to oil, crude oil, which is sitting here as part of the legacy pipeline for our flamethrower turrets. This should be fairly straightforward. We just need a lot of oil refineries, advanced oil processing. I think we're going to have to copy our plant design from down here. Let's copy this. We're going to need storage tanks, so that's going to be a lot of iron. Actually, hang on. Oh, we can't get more storage with legendary tanks. Okay, never mind. Let's have a quick look. What access do we have in a cryogenic plant? We can do sulfur and we do plastic. We can probably throw down speed modules into those. But everything else, it looks like, will have to be done in the oil refineries. Okay. Ooh, okay, power's not looking good. Power's starting to dip. I thought it would. Okay, that's all the water hooked up. So there we go. We got oil processing. Now we need to crack everything in here. Can we crack in a cryogenic plant? No, we need a chemical plant. Okay, thankfully I have a bunch of chemical plants on me. So, cracking. How do we crack again? It's been a while. Lots and lots of water. Let's start with the heavy oil, which means we do need another water pipeline going down here. I think we can just... Oh, hang on. I want some beacons. So if I run this here, let's try and fit some... Let's squeeze some beacons in. Actually, this needs to move over one. See if we can squeeze these beacons in here. If we can squeeze them in there and squeeze them in on this side, we might be getting some very, very optimal beacon layouts. I think we can just go full speed. We don't need productivity on these. Oil is infinite. Oil and water are infinite in this game. And if we copy this, we should be able to paste it a bunch of times. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. And then we should be able to just copy this once again over to here. This time we need to change the recipe over to cracking light oil into petroleum. Now I have no idea what the ratios of this is going to be like. Now we just need to power it all, which is something I completely forgot about. Can we squeeze... Oh, hang on. No, we're saved. We're saved. Good old-fashioned power poles. There we go. So now that we have our petroleum, we need to actually start turning that into stuff, which means we need water again for the sulfur, which is super easy. We can probably even do that back here, but I might do a dedicated setup over here. Interesting, they have 2 ports for water on this. Then where are the beacons going to fit? That's not going to reach, and neither would that. Okay, hang on. We may have to tinker around. The ports are messed up, but we can flip that so that the ports are no longer messed up. This can then come through here. That can come along there and then continue on. Okay, nice. Yep, okay, that works. That's going to give us 16 crafting speed plus 706%. That is nice. We can unload using these inserters. Obviously, we can get our little stacked belt like this. Or, I've noticed that inserters can insert onto underground belts, but they can also insert onto splitters. And I'm curious to find out just which one of these is going to produce the best results. So let's do a test on these two and see just how fast we can get items coming in. Who's going to fill up first? Yeah, okay, it's looking pretty much the same because we're limited by the throughput. Okay, this is not a very good experiment. Hang on. Let's try this test now. Kind of the same, really. I assume it's because we have 2 inserters coming through here. We are, I think, disadvantaged simply by the fact that this uses up more space, but this may be a design we use when unloading the trains of science packs over at the science facility, so that may be the play. Instead of our current design where we just do the 4 chests and then put them together, we may actually just replace this with the splitters. Okay, it's not looking great at the moment because we're out of water. Oh wow, we're actually out of water. How did I... What? How are we out of water? Okay, there we go, that's better. Oh god, I'm full. Oh jeez. Oh no. This was a mistake. I have regrets. I think our clear winner is still going to be this setup here. Now we need to think about what to do. Ooh, the thunder's nice. Now we need to think about how we're actually going to deliver this. I think we're just going to go up and over into a factory module, hopefully in here, but I don't think that's going to be fast enough. Actually, yeah, it's going to have to go up here. We're going to have to clear some space up north. Cue the montage. Let's bring you to the perimeter. We should be able to copy this entire wall. And I think we want to try and bring it up to here. So if I plonk it there. I hope I have some cliff explosives. Oh, I do. Okay, nice. It feels like they're getting more aggressive, but I know that can't be right because our evolution's already hit the ceiling. 0.99. We're basically at the ceiling. I suppose the only thing that could really happen is more of the blue worms become green. Oh my goodness, what are you guys? Okay, I think we have to cut back this base a little bit further. Is it just me, or do some of the spitters go derp and just find a random spot and spit on it in the middle of battles? I think it's because I'm moving so quickly. They're trying to shoot where they think I'm going to move to. And because I'm moving so quickly, that vector ends up being really large. That's why it looks pretty silly. Okay, and then we should be able to start decommissioning this old wall. We can probably also decommission the old pipeline as well. Yeah, let's just get rid of all of this. You served us well. 07's in the chat for the wall, for the north wall. And that is now officially an extension to the wall. Slowly creeping it upwards. We can start preparing our assembly area for the blue science. North wall 2.0, exactly. So I think this whole plant here, along with the plastic, can extend downwards into this section, which will be nice and compact. But then the rest of the assembly has to happen probably up here. Red circuits will probably need to happen probably up here. So we can bring some of the pipelines north. Blue science is a 3-ingredient product. So if we came up with a new design for this, we start with our assembler and we have 3 items that need to be input. We have engines, red circuits, and we need to have sulfur. If we look at the ratios, sulfur is 1. Circuits and engines are 2 and 3. So what that means is we can afford to use a slow arm inserter for the sulfur, and then we can use bulk inserters for the rest of the items and output slowly blue science. I think that's going to be the general principle, but then we need to find a way to speed that up. And unfortunately, beacons are a little bit tricky to stack. I think, though, we can probably get away with doing something like this. That's getting 8 beacons onto the 1 assembler, which means we end up with a final design that looks like this per crafter. Then if we put speed modules in all of that, crafting speed becomes 9. That's pretty quick. And if we copy that and we can back it together like that, that's going to form our array. That's really cool. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and then if we copy that yet again, but this time we can flip it vertically, that's a nice looking design, I think. Oh my goodness. We have 1,000 beacons consuming half a gigawatt. That's still only 0.75 per second. That doesn't sound right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 2. So that's 14 times 0.75 per second times 60 seconds. That's 630 a minute. So if this produces 630 per minute, and we duplicate it one more time, let's duplicate it a couple more times. 19 times 2, 1,700 per minute. That's still not 4,000. How big does this need to be? So now I just have to figure out how to get a whole bus of sulfur across. I think we can just run this all the way across into there. See what that does. So the next step for us is plastic. We need to make plastic. And unfortunately, that's going to need a bit of a different layout. We need to also include in the process coal. So if we copy all of this, change this recipe out to plastic, erase this pipeline, and instead replace it with a belt. And then I got to figure out where the heck am I going to get coal from? Because I'm pretty sure this coal patch here is not going to last us very much longer. I suppose I could tear down this and give us access to more of that coal, 235. I would rather use a different coal deposit. Maybe I need to explore up north and set up some train shipments. Aren't you aiming for 1 million per minute? 1 million's a bit of a stretch at the moment, mate. I'll get there eventually. Build my minions. This is about to consume a lot of power. We need to figure out how we're going to do red circuits. So we already have circuits coming down here. So if I copy all that, then we just got to make sure we can get all of our resources in. So we can copy this. Actually, no, even better. I built this yesterday. We can copy this. Oh, here we go. Then we got to actually turn it into copper wires, which, where are we doing that? Here. So once again, we can copy this. This is probably way too much copper. This is getting so messy. All right, so that's going to supply 4 of those. Then we need to get some iron in here. Landfill. Where is the landfill? Oh, no, 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 no. We have not been making landfill. We may have to start a landfill assembly somewhere. We could probably just do it here. Yeah, that'll start making landfill slowly while we go off and get the rest of our resources. Actually, we have some stone on us. We can dump this stone in. This is going to chew through our landfill very quickly. That's going to form a big chunky 6-lane bus. Okay, while that's happening, let's quickly have a think about our engines. How are we going to form engines at a reasonable pace? They cannot be done in a foundry, which means we have to do them in an assembly machine. Steel plates, iron gears, and pipes, all of which can be made with a foundry. We already have the steel here, so we can just bust that up. We need to make more gears because these are at capacity. Pipes are easy to make with molten iron as well. Copy this, flip it, and then change the recipe out. This is getting ridiculous. That's gonna all be gears. My goodness, a 6-lane bus of gears. How many pipes do we need is the question. When in doubt, more production. Now the question is, can we fit a 6-lane bus? Oh, we just can. Okay, that is proper cool. There we go. I gotta figure out how to get this steel from here all the way to over here. Yeah, this is about to get a little janky. We can have one belt going all the way through, not quite all the way through, but mostly all the way through. Then it needs to come up through here. Yep, this will work, maybe. Then we can get another belt coming up through here. This whole floor is just going to be made of belt. And I'm kind of all here for it. Should be able to run this all the way across. And then we need to somehow run another belt all the way across here. Then we got space for our 5th belt. Here we go, here we go. There we go, there's our bus. So now we just need to get the steel across. Oh, how are we going to do that? Okay, that gets that across. We now have our steel coming across. There we go, there's our 5 lanes. Oof, we did it. Oh, we have our pipes. Alrighty, so that's going to be our pipes. It's going to be our gears and our steel. That's a lot of items. How am I going to split this? Okay, so I think we can copy our design from the military science assembly. Then we need to change the recipe of this to engines. Pipes get their own input. And the steel and the gears run down together. And then that can join together and that'll start making engines eventually. Okay, so the engines join up with the sulfur. The plastic needs to get shipped across to the electronics over here. We need to figure out how we're going to build red circuits. Now, these work a lot slower than the green circuits, so we're going to need a lot more electromagnetic plants. If we ran a line like that, merge the circuits with plastic onto 2 sides of one belt, that's our red circuit. So then that should be everything we need. Oh, except I'm not delivering the coal. That's right, because I was going to check if there was coal up there. Maybe we just play it easy at the moment and bring coal from down here. I'm hoping that's enough coal. I think we need to bring it up and around, and then we can just bring it down like this. Okay, there we go. And then jam it in. How many engines are we making? We shall soon find out once we set up a bus for these things. Let's hope we have a saturated bus, but I don't think we will. Okay, so we established we need engines on one side and red circuits on the other side. Okay, let's go maximum speed and power. Okay, that's kind of quick. That's actually kind of quick. Then we can just bring this out. Oh, look at that. And we do have indeed a line of blue science. So now we need to bring that all the way back. So what I might do is painstakingly flip this back the other way. Oh God, what have I done? Why do I do this to myself? Just have to do this about 50 times. Okay, so that's our blue science. Now I need to run a bus for this to get it down into the station here. Let's start with building a quick little station. Okay, this is going to be a slight issue. I need to somehow... Oh my goodness, what are you... Mana Potion Depot. So now we need to get the blue science down here. I think the easiest way to do that is just straight down. Belt time. I love that you can do that. And that's our first lane of blue science. Here we go. We finally did it. It only took us 3 hours. Blue science is having some throughput issues because we are out of engines. Oh no, we're out of engines. Okay, that's not cool. Simply because they're not fast enough. So if we filled these up with speed modules, that'll go a little quicker. I think we just need to copy it and continue. Okay, so that should double pretty much our engine production, provided that the belts can push through that much. It might have just solved it. These are turning on slowly. As long as they all turn on, then we're fine. Ooh, hang on. Are we actually about to reach the end? Okay, we reached the end. What's our production rate at? 690 per minute. That's not impressive at all, is it? Is there any way we can speed this up slightly? The only thing I can think of is just making more circuits, which we will eventually have to do. Looks like it's just inserting speed. What do we do about that? Other than stack inserters. The only other thing I can think of is more building. Oh goodness, this is a mess. I don't know how entertaining this is, watching me going, hang on, wait, this isn't working. Now it's working. No, it's not working. Now it's working. No, it's not working. Sounds like a normal stream. Oh. Oh, okay. We got a problem. We got a problem. Ah.